This is KVUE News Daybreak.
A report on institutional racism in Austin. A lot of people reacting to it this morning, how the city's trying to keep minorities from leaving historic neighborhoods.
A horrific chemical weapons attack in Syria. I'm ABC's Lana Zach in Washington. Coming up, I'll have the details, including how the Trump administration may respond.
And big changes are coming to the IRS. They're handing some of their responsibilities to another firm. How to make sure you're getting calls from the right place and not being scammed.
Good morning to you, and thank you for joining us for KVUE News Daybreak. I'm Brian May.
And I'm Yvonne Nava. It is Wednesday, April 5th, and let's check on the forecast. It's going to be a little cooler. Temperatures, I think you're going to like, Brian.
It's breezy out there, too. I had to put an extra spray of hairspray in today, Eric.
Oh, yeah. Bring out that extra hairspray. You're going to need it probably the entire day, Brian. We're talking some sustained winds right now in the downtown area at about 10 miles an hour. But by lunchtime, close to 20 miles an hour. Gusts at times of up to 25. Temperatures are in the 50s, so already kind of cooler. But, yeah, the winds are definitely going to be an issue. San Antonio currently sustained winds at 24, while many areas across our viewing area are in the upper teens. Next 12 hours, this is what we're talking about. Temperature-wise, mostly sunny day. Our daytime highs today are going to be in the mid to lower 70s. That's 15 degrees cooler than the last couple of days, so enjoy the cooler temperatures after a dry, cool front pushed through us. Let's take a look at what the roads are looking like this morning. A lot of good conditions if you're heading out the door and not battling any major accidents this morning. So we are zooming into some road closures we have to speak about eastbound and westbound on the non-toll road at 71 at Spirit of Texas Drive. These are going to be some road closures that you have to keep in mind for today. So again, we have those road closures from April 5th till the 8th from 8 a.m. until 5 p.m. That will be something you want to keep into consideration. 14 minutes this morning from Buda to downtown, only 16 minutes from Round Rock to downtown. Guys, back to you.
Erica, thanks. Happening today, the UN Security Council will hold an emergency meeting in response to a chemical weapons attack in Syria. It's believed President Bashar al-Assad ordered the attack on his own people. ABC's Lana Zach tells us what response we're expecting from the Trump administration. We want to warn you, some of the video in this report is disturbing.
The horrific brutality. The Syrian people, the victims of a suspected chemical weapons strike by their own government. Young children and babies among the victims of one of the worst attacks in the history of this civil war. The death toll continues to rise. The injured struggle to breathe. Rescue workers racing to rinse the toxic substance from the skin of victims. The assault unrelenting. Even as this local activist reported from one of those hospitals, it was hit with another airstrike. The suspected sarin gas attack follows 2 chlorine gas attacks over the past week.
The gas attacks are continuing every day, and no one is doing anything to stop these gas attacks.
These chemical weapon attacks come just days after the new Trump administration signaled a major change in the U.S. approach to Syria.
Longer-term status of President Assad will be decided by the Syrian people.
But faced with the raw brutality of Syrian President Bashar al-Assad, it is unclear if the Trump administration will continue to hold that position. Today, the UN Security Council will hold an emergency meeting on Syria.
We have all seen the reports of the terrible chemical weapons attack in Syria.
Neither the Secretary of State or the President directly answered questions on Syria following the attack, but President Trump delivered this message in a speech on the economy.
I'm not, and I don't want to be, the president of the world. I'm the president of the United States.
In a statement, the White House called the attacks reprehensible and said that they could not be ignored by the civilized world. But it also laid blame at the feet of the Obama administration for what they called weakness and irresolution. Lana Zach, ABC News, Washington.
All new overnight, North Korea firing a newly developed missile into the Sea of Japan. According to the U.S. State Department, Korean and U.S. officials say the missile was launched from the city near Sinpo. Japanese officials now calling the launch a clear violation of the UN resolution. The ballistic missile test comes just days before the Chinese president will meet with President Trump in Florida. North Korea expected to be a major topic during that meeting.
Well, 2 weeks from today, State Representative Donna Dukes will appear in court to face multiple corruption charges made against her. Dukes is accused of tampering with government records and abusing her title. She's now facing 13 felony charges. Yesterday, a Travis County judge denied Dukes' request to dismiss 4 of those counts made against her. The charges stem from travel reimbursement forms Dukes submitted. For days, she allegedly did not travel to the Capitol. Well, happening today, Texas politician Wendy Davis will join hundreds of Planned Parenthood supporters at the state capitol to fight for women's reproductive rights. Nearly 1,500 activists are expected to turn out for Planned Parenthood Texas Lobby Day. They're aiming to educate lawmakers and the community about women's health. They'll also host a virtual reality experience that puts viewers in the shoes of a patient entering one of their health centers. The rally begins at noon. Round Rock fire crews are investigating a fire that burned through an abandoned home last night. It happened just before 9 p.m. near several older homes off of Chisholm Trail. No one got hurt. Flames could be seen from the nearby highway. Several trees along the home caught fire as well.
Dramatic pictures there. This morning, we're waiting to find out if a driver will face charges after crashing into a man in South Austin, killing him. The crash happened around 9 o'clock on William Cannon, west of I-35. Austin police say at one point there were reports the driver did not stop at the scene, but it's not clear if they've made contact with the driver since the incident.
237. That's how many things need to change in Austin to deal with institutional racism. That's according to a new report from a city task force. It claims racism impacts people's education, health care, their relationship with police, and where they live. KVUE's Corey Kaufman tells us about the task force's plan to deal with the big hurdle of housing and how to pay for it. Corey.
Well, Yvonne, good morning to you. Of all the issues highlighted by the task force, gentrification is a major one. The group suggests that tax help for minorities in some neighborhoods that they've been pushed out of. It's asking the city to use public-owned property to build homes for low-income, minority, and former East Austin residents who want to return to their neighborhoods. The group also suggests the city allow housing that includes mobile homes or tiny homes on the land. The group recommends the city create a fund to buy and preserve this affordable housing, giving preference to those previously displaced. Some $600 million can be raised, they say, by implementing a linkage fee on developers of $2 per square foot of new construction, according to the report. The president of Houston Tillotson University, Colette Pierce Burnett, and Austin School Superintendent Paul Cruz chaired this task force. Here's what Burnett had to say about the monumental undertaking of this project.
Citizens have to embrace it because, as I said earlier, it has to happen at the individual level. Then you go to the institutional level, then the structural, and then the systemic level. And we had to find a common language when you talk about race and innate biases.
For example, language like Code Next. That's the city's proposed land use code rewrite. The task force's housing group believes, well, it'll just accelerate displacement in rapidly gentrifying areas of East Austin. Instead, the group recommends the city rethink the way they prioritize housing projects in the future and also prioritize funding low-income housing over what they call market rate housing. This report just a jumping off point, and not all recommendations will be implemented. Brian Avant, back to you.
All right, thank you. Well, the IRS is now using private debt collectors to gather up money on taxes people across the country owe. This means you could get calls if you owe anything, but the IRS wants you to know the difference between a collector and a scammer. So here's how to know if the call is legit. The IRS will contact you multiple times in writing before you're ever called by contractors. And if you get a call before getting a notice, then it's likely a scam. Also, you won't hear from a private collector unless you have multiple years of overdue taxes. And all payments will be made to the IRS and not the contracted company. The IRS will never ask for your credit card information over the phone and will not threaten you and have you arrested for not paying your taxes.
Time to get a check of that forecast once again with Erica Lopez. Breezy day ahead, Erica.
That's right. It is breezy this morning. It's going to continue for the rest of our Wednesday. Here's a look at your current sustained winds. We're talking about 10 miles an hour in Austin, but we're talking gusts of up to 15 miles an hour. That's just this morning. San Antonio has the strongest winds right now, 24 miles an hour. So as you wake up this morning, temperatures are slightly cooler also. We're waking up to temps in the 50s, but again, keep in mind it's pretty breezy out there. Your hour by hour forecast, this is what we're talking about. Lunchtime, check out your winds. 19 miles an hour. Lunch plans, yes, the temperatures are going to feel nice, but you are probably going to have to battle some strong winds if you're outdoors. We'll still be in the 60s. Daytime highs will be in the 70s today. So we're calling UV index high, pollen in the high category because of the strong and dry air mass settling in. Here's a look at our KVUE photo of the morning. Diana sending in photos of her gorgeous grandkids. You guys can share us your photos. Find us on Facebook. You can find us on Twitter, #KVUE. We'll be able to share them on Daybreak. Guys, back to you.
Erica, thanks a lot. Tony Romo is done with football. At least he's done playing football. Tuesday, Romo retired from the NFL, quickly found another job. He'll head to the television booth where he'll work for CBS Sports. He tweeted out this picture yesterday showing off his new outfit, saying, "I guess it's time to start dressing up." He will replace Phil Simms in the broadcast booth. According to ESPN, Romo said the Houston Texans were at the top of his wish list if he was going to keep playing, but the CBS TV offer was too good to pass up.
I mean, if this wasn't something that I was excited about or I didn't think that I really wanted to do, I wouldn't be making this decision. This is a decision that I come to because I'm excited about this craft. I'm excited about trying to be really good at this.
I think he will be good. Ultimately, the decision came down to his health. He missed 33 games over the last 10 years with multiple injuries, including his back last year, which cost him most of the season.
Do you think he actually had to do an audition like
No.
all of us usually have to do?
No.
No?
No, they called him probably last week, gave him the offer. He probably mulled it over.
But it's not that easy, though, being a
No.
color commentator or commentator in general.
No, but if you're a player like at his level, I think he would have the knowledge.
It comes more natural,
yeah,
maybe.
to be able to do it.
Okay.
Good luck to him.
All right. Well, more allegations against Fox News.
That's right. Harassment allegations piling up against the company. What two current employees are accusing the company of ignoring in the workplace.
And the hunt is still on for the person who ambushed and killed a Houston area deputy. The new surveillance video that could help officers track down the person responsible.